Good morning, guys. Hey, just wanted to do a little video here real quick with the Region 15 football playoff. I guess implications or kind of positioning through week 2, and want to highlight some of the games this week. Looks like there's 5 games within the region this week that will play some pretty significant role down the path as the season goes on, as far as points to be gained. So let's take a look first. So one of our games this week, St. Clairsville versus Meadowbrook, and if you look at the probable points, and I guess I should say before I go into that any further, is that the probable points is based off of Drew Pastor, the Fantastic 50, off of his rankings from last season. He has not updated yet this year, and I have not had a chance to complete my own ranking system this year, so it's still going to be based off of the end of last season. Once he gets updated, I'll go back through and backfill and update, change my win-loss projections as necessary. But like I said, right now it's based off of end of year or end of 2015 stats, or rankings. So big one this week in the region is the team that I have at the end of the season, St. Clairsville, 4th, versus a team that I have ranked 7th, and that's Byesville Meadowbrook. So St. Clairsville's 0-2. This is a big game for them for sure. If Meadowbrook would by chance pull that one off, which would be an upset based off of last year's information, that would be huge. It would definitely shake up that top 8 for sure, going down the road. So other games in the region, let's see, we've got Cambridge, and they'll be taking on Canton South. So I have both of them out of the playoffs. Cambridge, even though right now they're currently ranked 4th, I have them in the season 13th with 9.6 points, and Canton South ending the season at 23rd with 3.6 points. Take a look real quick on who's projected to win that matchup. Let's see. So Cambridge is actually expected to lose that matchup against Canton South. If by chance they would win that, like I said, right now I've got them ranked basically 13th in the region. That would probably push them up for the end of the season. I have them probable points at 13th. That's going to push them up at least one spot to 12th, and then it would depend on what some of the other teams above them do as well. So that could be good computer points for down the road as well. Another game this week, we got Maysville and Philo, a big MVL matchup. We got Philo ending the season 16th and Maysville ending the season at 8th. This matchup, again, Philo could push up pretty high. If Maysville would drop this one, as they are favored based off of last year's results, if Maysville would drop this game to Philo, it's going to drop Maysville out of the top 8. So this is it's a big matchup for the region as well. Let's jump in, take a look at the last. So we got Bloom Carroll and Licking Valley. Right now I'm projecting both of them out. Licking Valley is favored based off of last year's numbers to win that matchup. Licking Valley they're sitting 9th with 16.8 probable points, and Philo in 16th with 7.85 probable points. So if Bloom Carroll would win, you're probably looking at Valley dropping to about 12th and Bloom Carroll moving up to 12th, 13. So you'd have both of them, in a pretty similar position. Again, but then if Maysville would lose to Philo, then you would expect Licking Valley probably to move up to be, after 3 weeks, to be the 8th projected finish prior to updates for the new season. So pretty good matchup there. A couple middle of the pack teams in Region 15 that are definitely fighting for a playoff position. So, and that takes us to our last inter-region matchup, and that is East Liverpool and Salem. Salem is definitely the favored team there. I'm looking at Salem based off of last year's results. Probable points is finishing 5th in the region, and East Liverpool finishing 12th in the region. So there again, if East Liverpool would pull the upset, you're looking at East Liverpool probably moving up 1 spot to 11th, and you're looking at Salem probably dropping out of the top 8. They may even drop all the way to 10th. So a lot of implications this week just in the matchups within the region. I'm going to try to do a quick rundown through the rest of them. So Claymont is playing Danville, and they're actually projected to lose that matchup. It'd be a big one for them to win. Same thing with Buckeye Local and Bel Air. Buckeye Local is projected to lose to Bel Air. Beaver Local, I've got them projected to beat Lindsley, West Virginia. And that's just based on what I did is with the out-of-state teams, it's so hard to track. I've just projected a win for any out-of-state matchup. So that would obviously shake up the region as well if Beaver Local would lose to Lindsley. Because right now I have Beaver Local looking at being 11th. If they would lose that, obviously they're going to drop. Lakewood projected to beat Bern Union. Not a lot of secondary points probably going to come out of that win. Let's take a look. John Glenn is playing West Muskingum, I believe, this weekend. Yes, West Muskingum, who they are projected to beat. Again, probably not going to get a lot of computer points. Definitely not secondary points out of that. Cambridge, we've already talked about. Licking Valley, we've talked about. Steubenville versus West Holmes, definitely favored to whoop on West Holmes. Not a lot of computer points that they're going to get from West Holmes either. West Holmes probably not going to help them out much with secondary points. Canal Fulton Northwest is playing Orville, which I've got them winning that, which can definitely help their cause for making the playoffs. St. Clairsville we've discussed already. They're playing Meadowbrook. Johnstown against Buckeye Valley. That's a pretty good game for Johnstown. If they win that one, that's gonna probably be some pretty significant computer points down the road for them, since they are a Division III school. Let's take a look. So we got Meadowbrook, we've already talked about. Plum Carroll, who we've also talked about. East Liverpool. There we go. So here's a new one. Amanda Clear Creek against Jonathan Alder. Highly unlikely that they would win that matchup. If they would, that's definitely some big computer points down the road. Indian Creek plays Oak Glen, West Virginia, which I've got them projected to win that. Fairfield Union versus Vinton County. I'm projecting a win there. They'll get a little bit of computer points later in the season from Vinton County. Heath against Granville. Pretty big matchup there for Heath. If they would win that matchup against Granville, it definitely puts them in a position to garner a lot of guaranteed points, with different LCL crossover matchups later in the season. Although I am projecting Granville to win that. Canton South, we've already discussed. For them to beat Cambridge, Shelby is playing Clear Fork this week, and I'm projecting a win there against Clear Fork. That's going to continue to put Shelby in a position that they may make a playoff run this year. I've got them just outside the top 8 right now in 10th. So, every win that they can continue to win, especially ones that are expected to win, is big for them. Riverview, expected them to lose. Salem is playing East Liverpool, so we've already discussed that one. Ontario versus Cardington, and projecting Cardington with a win there. Philo and Maysville, we've already talked about. Minerva is playing Canton Central Catholic, expecting a loss there to Canton Central Catholic. Let's take a look. Indian Valley. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so Indian Valley is playing Sugar Creek Garaway. I'm projecting a win there. So Indian Valley is one that they're 0-2. And I'm projecting them to end up 8-2 based off of last year's information. And 8-2 would get them up to probably 6th in the region. So they're playing Garaway, who's 2-0, and this could be, almost a must-win game now for Indian Valley. I mean, if they would lose this game, odds are pretty good that they're going to drop to a point that their probable points aren't going to be enough to get them into the playoffs, even if they would win out at 7-3. So, pretty important game for Indian Valley this weekend. Maysville, we've discussed the game against Philo. New Lex is playing against Morgan. One they're probably projected to win. And that gets us through all of Region 15. So you can always check out the spreadsheet. I've got it already posted on my Google Docs, and there's a link to it here in the Yappy, or there's a link to it on yappy.com. I'm gonna try to put a link right here in the YouTube video notes as well, so that you can take a look at that if you're interested, and you can go in and sort and everything. You should be able to sort, and you just won't be able to save anything. So that's it, guys. Take care, and once week 3 is in the books, we'll get it updated, and we'll be back with another edition. Have a good one.